Hi everyone, welcome back to more Star Dynasties. I'm DisturbingPuppet. This is my small little empire, the Scrooge Sovereignty. We are still an independent sovereign nation. That might change. Things are expanding, and things are exploding, and alliances are forming and falling apart. We've had Tanner Coalition had people break off. They fought, took some back. Davis Coalition broke off from the Jordan colonies. It was fighting. They're still in existence. Then these guys broke away. We had a faction in the middle of the farmer territories break off. We are still technically at war with the farmer territories. Um, I don't think anything's going to come of it, but we'll see what happens. We are trying to get the Lord here, who was my vassal at one point, sort of to like me again, but we'll see what happens with that. Unrest is quite high. There was a rebellion over here. Like we had control of these two before we lost them. So I would like to get those back. I'd like to kind of get Nair Al Saif back as well, but we just don't have the military for it. And I don't know how much of that, like we just don't have anybody really good in the Empire who's good at military. And I'm personally not that big on military as well, although I'm up to 34 now. Our overall stats are not letting us get a gigantic military, so our military strength is not awesome. We're currently sitting at about 63 of a max 74 for ourselves, and our each individual dukes have, smaller forces. I'm kind of helping rebuild down here, but it's mostly done already. We do have somebody free, hasn't done anything yet. Roz. So our new... Right, we married off my nephew to you, so we now have you running around. So we could actually use you to kind of crack down a little bit. Actually, speaking of which... Yeah, so we're at 14 of 19 family members, that's fine. Yeah, we could have you come down here and try to crack down on unrest, I think. That makes sense. It is going up a lot for some reason. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Send Roz. Yes, travel there. Let's keep that under control. That's going up so much, I wondered what's going on. Like, is someone actively trying to increase it? Even with her there, it's going up 8.9. Gear tab up here. It's going down. We're working on it. Up here, it's going down slightly, like just barely. Living space is a big problem here. So she's not the legitimate ruler, but that has been the case for a while. Your unrest is a little high. Izar, definitely, like, it'd be nice to improve the colony. Yeah, living space is a big issue. 1.67 per turn. We could spend some of my own money to start getting a little bit more room in the colony. I could repair the armory, actually, right now. I'd have to pull somebody off what they're doing in order to oversee that. We could just stop the military replenishment here. Yeah, I mean, my wife would be quite good at doing that. I'd rather build up my own home system rather than Izar, but it will make people really happy in that system for a bit. Like, the Duke will appreciate it a lot if we pay for and build something ourselves. Yeah, maybe we do that. So let's stop doing that. On Izar, we'll get the armory. 3 turns, my wife will be down there dealing with that. That'll help get them a bit more stable. Meanwhile, we just kind of hold on here, see what we can do. I don't think there's anything much for me to do. I think we'll go ahead and end turn, and we'll have an event pop up. We have an outbreak of Rattlelung has begun spreading on Decrux. That's really bad. Decrux experienced an outbreak of the respiratory disease colloquially known as Rattlelung. Unfortunately, cramped housing and poor sanitation are ideal conditions for it to spread rapidly. As ruling duke, you must act swiftly in a way the colony is interesting instead of the overall faction. Coordinate help. Countless ships are moving in and out of Crux, transporting medical supplies, doctors, and the ill. An outbreak of right along seems to be contained for now. Probability is high somewhere in our empire. So the Duke here has demanded that her Archon press someone's claim to somewhere. She has refused. He has gone independent and rebelled. Look at that, a new independent faction. So she's no longer responsible for some stuff because he's not a subject anymore. Archon Camden Lynn has demanded that Duke Davis press an unknown person's claim to rule Nair al-Saif. That's way across the... that's like next to me. That's kind of weird. He's refused. So yeah, stuff just breaking apart, falling apart. Oh, my wife is very ill. That's not good. My niece is pregnant. Okay. Your brother's returning home to report on his assignment, but his shuttle's flight path is erratic. Laszlo Scrooge, you bark into the view screens. Get that shuttle back on target. My Duke, he gasps. My magnificent, glorious Duke. Anything for you. His trajectory improves and he lands without incident. Okay. Your guards search the shuttle. They find a case bearing the insignia of the pre-collapse R&D group Nova Corp and a vial of gray powder. Once your brother's mental state is recovered, you question him. I chanced upon an abandoned laboratory in Avior. The case was inside. When I took it, indescribable. The awe, the admiration I felt for anyone I saw. What sublime creatures. There isn't much powder left, but you could put it to use. Drug the water supply. Drug feast. Or take drug with spouse. Okay. My sister was attacked by a mob of furious commoners. Such hatred, she pants, they despise me. Are you hurt? Only my pride, she grimaces. +4 rebellion risk on Decrux. That's a bit odd, too, because we've got things pretty well locked down there. Nobles and commoners alike are complaining about crime in Decrux. For the two classes to be in agreement, perhaps it's time to take a closer look at House Scrooge's military peacekeeping force. I don't have anybody free, so we can't assign somebody to do that. They're exaggerating. Extra unrest. Sounds problematic. Maybe I should investigate. Yeah, we can do that, I guess. With Admiral Scrooge's help, you investigate the crime situation. House Scrooge is not fielding a respectable military peacekeeping force on Decrux. Malfunctioning equipment, overly corrupt officers. There's more work to be done if you want a force to be proud of. She's sick, so we'll have our Admiral make sure officers have our right loyalties and proper equipment. Successfully reforms the Peacekeepers. Running equipment maintenance, putting officers through training drills, and even shuffling the force's leadership. The Admiral's put a lot of work into his reforms. Inspired by his hard work, some officers produce evidence against the corrupt elements of the force are swiftly brought to justice. So we now have the trait Elite Military Peacekeepers, so -4, so it just offsets what we just had for the other event. Okay, all kinds of crazy stuff happening. I'm a bit worried. My wife is very sick. A lot of craziness happening. The Jackson Kingdom went independent, which is very interesting. He raised taxes too high. He might get attacked, potentially, by them. You don't like me much. I think, didn't I just pull somebody off trying to improve relations with him? Sent them over here to Wazin. Unrest 27, 30, 24. To Crux, it's only 9. It's not a big deal. Izar, it's at 47, but we are kind of working on it. My wife is still working on this, even though she's sick. We do kind of need somebody free to do that. So I need to take somebody off of what they're doing in order to try to heal up my wife. So we need a high-tech stat person. Kumi, what are you doing? You're doing something somewhere. Training me in diplomacy. Yeah, we could definitely stop doing that for a bit. let's stop that. And then you're going to try to take care of her. I'm going to keep her working, which I'm not sure about. So my daughter is going to tend to her. Hopefully heal her back up. She is still working, so that is a bit of a problem. Offer your vassalage. I mean, he'll accept. He's not going to accept if I demand his or ask for his. I think we want to improve relations with him. Even potentially over her. Like, she kind of likes me a little bit now. We're at war, so it probably will go down if I pull somebody off of this. But I could see potentially, like, if we could get us, the Jackson Kingdom, and the Davis Coalition into a group, that would be amazing. I don't think that's going to happen. And even if I did, it would be me as a secondary member. I wouldn't be the main. I just don't have the strength for it. Fleet-wise, we're actually over? How did we end up going? It went down a bunch. What happened? 66 of 59. What in the world just happened? I don't know why it dropped so much. That's crazy. I guess my happiness is down, so stats are down, but it's not down that much. That's odd. Yeah, I don't know how we're end up being over. So this is the Jackson Kingdom. If I was... So they're not involved anymore, so if I was going to look at doing something here, he can get about 48 ships. 58. I can get about 44. If I had money for mercenaries, might be an option. Not really an option. I think we'd try to get better relations with him, potentially. So maybe we stop here and switch over to him. Or we stop trying to improve relations with her and try to improve relations with him. That might be the better option. Still running the spy network over here, not that it's really turning up anything. Yeah, let's stop with the diplomatic actions there, and I'm going to switch over to a bit more on him, because he doesn't really like me very much, so I feel like we can try to improve relations instead there. Send my sister off to do that. That's everything for all my people, and I don't feel like we're just getting weaker and weaker as time goes by. It's very odd. I don't think we're getting enough cash either for stuff. How old is my heir now? She is 18. Marriage options. And we don't want to leave. There might be some newer, younger people. This guy's really good at tech. But I don't really need tech. Distant relative. Right age range, but that's about it. Another distant relative. Seems like only people within my own empire want to marry into the family. Nobody from outside wants to come in. This would be cousins. Let's not do that. This guy's sick. A good security person. I don't really need security, but like it's an option. What is that? Rule breaker. Let's avoid the sick people. I mean, a generalist who's also good at security. He's part of the Jackson Kingdom. A marriage might make them happier with me. I'm not sure if it would affect them because he's not directly related. I mean, he's a farmer, but he's also part of the Jackson. That's interesting. So some of the farmers are actually part of the Jackson Kingdom that have left and are now separate from the other farmers. So branch of the family's like bailed on them completely. Yeah, I wish I could get a better heir match. You are forgiving and tribal, whereas we're kind of individualistic. It's not an awful match. Because we would be bringing him in from outside. It could improve relations with the Jackson Kingdom slightly. I think I'm willing to do it. He's also the right age. Yeah, I think that is like the best acceptable option I have. The other thing would be potentially we could save her for like if we ask for something and then in response they might say, oh, we'll only do it if you marry your daughter to us. Like that's a reason to kind of keep her. So I'll think about it. Levi, you're the leading candidate, honestly. I don't know how they've got a fairly strong military, even though their systems are really banged up. Yeah, at this point, now that they're weaker, he might come over to me if I ask. She'll refuse, but he might agree. And if I did that, that would weaken them a lot, and then maybe he could consider joining us as well. I am working on him. He still has a negative opinion of me, but it's not awful. How much military do you guys have? 45. At Wazen. 33 to my 27. The locals have 15. So I think it'd be about a fair fight. But his unrest is just off the chart. I think we'll give it a turn and see what we can do as far as increasing their view of me, and maybe it'll be easier. If I can peel this off, he might just declare war on me, but I do have a right to claim this. And he'll be a lot weaker if he loses the system. But he might, like, they might come in and just tank Arcturus and take it over, because she's still quite strong. Yeah, she's sitting at 40. She did go for Arcturus. I could potentially help defend it in exchange for something. Yeah, I'm going to sit tight here for a minute and collect some cash, see what happens. Camden Lynn. Okay, I was attacking. I can't even see. Where is that? It must be down here. G Puppus? I don't even see where that is. Yeah, down over there. The Lynn Collective defeated the fleet of the Davis Coalition, so Davis Coalition losing a military fight there. That should weaken them a bit. So Duke Davis gave the release of Jordan in exchange for peace. So he must have had somebody in the family inside his empire, and he released them. So they're now at peace. They're all split up, of course. Oh, and then the Jackson Coalition joined the Davis Coalition. Or the Jackson Kingdom joined the Davis Coalition. Great. So we gave him Wazin. So now the Davises directly control Wazin. Probably because he wasn't sure he could hold it, because I've got good relations there. So the Archon here is demanding that the Duke step down and give control to someone else completely from a different family. He said no and broke away. Okay. Farmer territories are now at war with the Blackwell Alliance. The Duke up here wants marriage between my heir and Thad Blackwell. Who is Thad Blackwell? You are a Blackwell. I mean, he's honestly not bad. 58 as a diplomat for being so young. Brave, friendly, honorable. I can't ask for his allegiance or anything because we don't have a shared border. He'd definitely give me some money. Like, he's actually, that's not a bad character. I don't know that you're going to survive much longer, but for 15 credits. Yeah, I'm willing to do that. Gave the marriage in exchange for 15 credits. Okay, that's fine. We're expected to hold a feast for marriage between your daughter and your son-in-law. Organizer of the feast will be your niece. If you hold a feast, following rulers will be insulted if they are not invited. If we invite them all, the feast will cost an additional 22 creds. So it's 15. I can't afford to invite everybody. So I'm just going to have to hold the feast. Who would you like to invite to the feast? So now it says maybe I have enough now. Invite everyone. I can invite more people if I want to. Choosing random other people. I don't know if there's anybody, I can't think of anybody that important. That's fine, I think. Tournament is being held in the honor of the marriage between your daughter and your son-in-law. Who would you like to represent you in the tournament? So the tournament's kind of a military challenge. Probably my admiral, but not that he's that good. I could do it myself. It will bring some honor to myself. Actually, my military stat is up to 36. I'm probably not that bad. I just don't want to risk dying. There's a chance. I'll do it myself. You fight Captain Laura Dixon in the first part of the match. So she's better at me. We're just going to fight normally. She defeated me. That's fine. Commissioner Webster Davis has won the tournament in honor of the marriage between your daughter and son-in-law. We didn't get in the higher ranks, so that's fine. Your cooks could sprinkle the admiration drug in your guest's food. I don't know what that does. Let's make this memorable. So it makes everybody somewhat pleased and grateful to me. That's it. There's no negatives. Yeah, sure. Why not? The guests nibble their sweetmeats. You propose a toast. Every eye, dilated and awestruck, turns to you. To good times, you cry. The hall erupts. The feast to honor the marriage between your daughter and your son-in-law was largely a success. The guests depart in fine humor. So some increased notoriety for my daughter, her soon-to-be husband, and Duke Blackwell. Duke Blackwell has changed the order of succession for the Blackwell Alliance. Duke heir Thad Scrooge is now his heir. What? So he made him the heir, but he's in my family, so I think we would just take over if he becomes... Yeah. So I think if, because it's only a small system, I think it would be, he would rule that, my wife would rule this, but they'd be in the same empire together, basically. So Quentin Hobbs has come in. Distant relative, it's fine. Daughter was cleaning the case that contained the admiration drug, but made a discovery. The solvents reacted with the powder's traces, creating a vapor with similar properties. It relaxes the subjects, makes them more trusting. Any foreign visitor coming to the Crux should have this pumped into their quarters. Should. Like, should. It's a medium secret. Gives us a little bit more diplomacy. It's not bad. Or we can have a night of laid-back revelry, where everyone becomes pleased and grateful to me. I think everyone's pretty happy with me anyway. I don't like having secrets like this because it can always come back to haunt you. If it gets discovered, it can be used against you, blackmail you, that kind of stuff. And it's not a very strong secret, so it'd be kind of easy to discover. Let's do this. An incomparable night. Everyone is so incredible. Decadent nobility. A few days later, your daughter visits your quarters. I've refined the admiration vapor. This version encourages subjects to worship a new object, such as yourself, and reject old ties. The vapor could coerce a foreigner to join our house. Since they must be continually exposed to keep them pliable, we have enough for only one person. Drug into joining house. Interesting. So if somebody's heir comes a-knocking, we can drug them into wanting to join. So, we're still at war with you. You should be a bit weaker now. You keep losing your subjects. You still have 43, but I can't even reach you anymore because Arcturus goes through here. Wazin is now part of the Davis Coalition, so I think there's probably no way he would join now if I asked him. He may accept, but we don't really have the right to as much because a sovereign duke has control of it. which I think should be about the same as it was before, but he's directly under this other ruler, so that's potentially more of a problem than, say, Arcturus. Yeah, she'll refuse if we ask. Definitely a bit of an issue. Archon Ronnie Jackson gorged himself during the feast. Okay. I was trying to get you to like me before, and now you're just like, yeah, whatever. But now you're kind of a minor player, so there's no point in trying to get you to like me more, honestly. He might like me more anyway because of... Yeah, so because we had a nice feast, he's like, loves us now. So there's definitely no point in doing that anymore. So we'll stop that action. We are still working on our old liege there. We're working on these guys. What's going on down here? You have an ancient entertainment system and some crime-related stuff, insults. Populist movement on Deshubba is demanding the colony become part of the Skinner Federation. So they're trying to like break off. Is that this group? No, I don't know where the Skinner Federation is. There, okay. So they want to join that faction, but they can't. There's no connection. Yeah, at this point... Wait. Isn't the Davis Coalition in charge of this? No, the Davis Coalition is part of the Jackson Kingdom. Okay, I see. So... he got them to join by giving them Wazin to his... But they were so small. Like, I don't know how... Like, I couldn't get them to join. I don't know what the deal is there. Like, they're making deals that I don't even know how I couldn't have made that deal. There's no way I could even offer that deal to them. I guess if I don't ask, you don't know. So, like, maybe it's worth it to ask. Like, hey, join, and then they might come back with a counter offer that you could meet. I don't know. So the Jackson Kingdom is now very strong, but we have very good relations with them at the moment. Distant kin, yeah. He likes me a little bit. We could probably hold off on the charm offensive over there. How about you? I mean, we're still at war. She's still positive in her views of me, but I can't get her to like join an alliance with me because we don't have a connecting system. So we're on good terms here. We're also on really good terms with the Jackson Kingdom as they've kind of reformed, adding the Davis Coalition in there. Did you come? Do you like me? Yeah, he likes me too. So there's not much point getting him to like me either. So we'll stop that. So we have some diplomats free. I don't even have the maximum number of vassals. I really would like to pick up some more territory, but I don't have a way to do it. And even if I wanted this, it'd have to go through Wazin. So I don't really have a claim here, right? Now I have more of a, like, it's not considered a major issue, but she won't accept. Whereas here, he might accept. But it's considered kind of a negative act. Whereas before it wasn't considered quite so bad diplomatically as an action. I mean, we could potentially keep doing that. I don't know if there's much point. We could end our war, because there's really nothing I can do. I can't do anything to them. They can't really do much to me anymore at this point. We'll give it a try. She's refused. Okay. I mean, she can't even get to me, so what's the point? So I wasted a bunch of my time and effort to try to do that. She can't even do anything to me, and yeah, that's it. If she does go for Arcturus, maybe we could take it back from her if she takes it. Possibly. I don't know. Our military looking a bit weird lately. Yeah, we're actually over our maximum strength. I'm still doing this because I haven't pulled anybody off of it. If Arcturus gets attacked, I almost guarantee you they will ask me for help against them. So we might want to be ready for that. I'm super happy right now. Super stoked. Speaking of which, my stats now getting pretty reasonable. I feel like my administration just hasn't gone up much at all, but everything else definitely seems like it's gone up. My diplomacy was like 2 originally. Now 35. So a lot of time has gone by. So we have quite a few people who are free to do stuff, mostly diplomats. So my brother's free, diplomat. Son-in-law, also diplomat. And then somebody on the council isn't doing anything. Atana. Also a diplomat. So I've got 3 diplomats sitting around not doing anything. So I probably should assign them to do something. And I think we'll just go through like one more turn, and this one we'll call it good. You probably should like me, just out of curiosity. Yes. Yeah, because we have this connection now to the Blackwells, I kind of feel like it'd be better to connect through, but I can't do that without taking Arcturus. Eventually, more and more stars will get revealed up here, so there might be another way we could connect by advancing this direction, and I'm hoping that happens, but it could take a while. We are still working on trying to heal up my wife, so she's still doing okay. I feel like this isn't advancing at all, probably because she's sick. I could take her off of that and assign somebody else to it, and just have her not doing anything. Something you could do later, I didn't really check, but some of these dead systems you can actually recolonize. I think it'll usually make it clear, though. I think they'll be bigger. They would just be empty. Yeah, is my wife actually working on it? I'm not sure, because she's sick, so I'm not sure if she actually is helping. Well, we've got 3 diplomats. We can assign 3 diplomats somewhere. I don't really feel like I need to do anything there. You like me reasonably. Actually, I should check inside my empire, my own rulers. You're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah, so everyone inside my empire is pretty solid. She's relatively solid. I know they're solid. We could work on you. I'm not too concerned with some of these smaller factions way out there. We could work on the Tanner Coalition, as well as the Jackson Kingdom. and possibly even the farmer territories as well. We could also specifically just go for Arcturus, the ruler of Arcturus. I think that's what I will do. Whoever's the weakest, I think we'll have go there. So my sister can go do that. Let's get you a bit happier, I guess. Just to do something. I don't know that I really want to focus that heavily on you. Jordan colonies just kind of fell apart. If they want to reconnect, they kind of have to go through the Skinner Federation to kind of reunite. So that's probably what they're going to look at. Got you out here too. I mean, we could try to jump in and take over a whole bunch of stuff here, potentially just by a massive charm offensive. Since I don't really know what else to do, it's fairly safe to go out there, so I'm going to have you go do that. Even if it's only for a turn or two, we can kind of work on that. Unrest is 55 here, which is quite bad. Even with me working on it, it's still going up at 3 a turn. Living space is part of that. I don't know why it's so high. Could be something going on. Someone might be spreading dissent on Izar. I might have to shift somebody over. So I currently have... You go to 27 military. 24. 32. So Chill is my best. He's currently on gear tab. I could have him go off and switch to Izar. He's slightly more effective. But it's going to cost me actions to switch him around. So I think we'll just leave it. All right, let's go ahead and hit one more turn, and then we'll kind of look around, and I think we'll call it for today. Oh. Okay. He wasn't that old. He was 35. He just suddenly dropped dead. And he liked me, too. That's terrible. A baby has inherited the Jackson Kingdom. Kenny! So Franchon, she's going to be acting. She does not like me, so we definitely want to do something about that. Duke Davis has broken allegiance to the Jackson Kingdom and pledged it to the Lin Collective. Oh, okay. They suddenly have jumped out there. They've been jumping all over the place. Acting Duchess Jackson has become Kelly Skinner's vassal, so she's also joining. And then she gave allegiance to her for 60 credits, so she's now back in with the farmer territories. I don't appreciate that, I would have to say. So they lost a major vassal, bailed, and joined this other empire, and then they immediately jumped to them for help after their leader died. So a very weird series of actions there. I wonder if I could get her to like me enough, get her to come over to my side. Your niece and Admiral Scrooge have had a baby boy. What will his name be? How about Timothy? Okay, she's no longer responsible for certain stuff. Admiral Scrooge and your daughter approach you. I refuse your crown. What? Duke Eris, Michiko Scrooge cries, trembling. I want my own life. The throne will crush me and shatter my dreams. You see what we're working with, my Duke, Admiral Scrooge tuts. Maybe you can persuade her. 60. I'm just going to look at percentages. And let's see. Money, 67%. Battle, 33. She's not really good at that. Ruling, 33%. Appealing to her directly, 33%. 33. 60%. So our best option is money. She gets some kind of negative trait, though, it looks like. I can't tell what that is. She gets it either way, it looks like. Oh, no, that's if it fails. We'll try rulership means riches. She immediately goes, okay, yeah. My liege, I witnessed your daughter commit a senseless crime. Your niece furrows her brow. I checked the house accounts to be certain. Your heir is skimming money from your treasury. She sighs. Is this woman truly the future of House Scrooge? A secret's been created. Minus 15 credits from us. Found out your daughter skimmed money from our coffers. I really don't like that. Because I'm really having a hard time getting money. The whole point of this family was to get lots of money. And so far, we just have not had much money. Okay, my sister-in-law has healed up. Military tactic, abandoned policy. Okay. Some crazy arrests going on now over there. All kinds of stuff because of the change of allegiances going on. Yeah, so now we have a bit more of a problem. You don't like me very much. She will not agree if I ask. We could try to improve relations with her, since things are kind of a mess. Things are definitely a mess. We'll probably stop our... Well, I don't know. You're now part of the Lin Collective. Pushing up into here. So it might be less of an issue for me to ask for Wazin now. Nope, still a bit of a problem. He'll now refuse. I could ask the Baron to punish him. There's no guarantee he's going to. We kind of lose our claim on it then, too. I need Wazin if I want to take Nair al-Saif. But he's not willing to change sides now because he's now part of a larger military force. I don't know why it's showing her. They're not allied. So Davis Coalition, I think it's the Lins. Yeah, so they can get 32 ships. 32. I can only get 23. It's so weird. I'm close, and I can't get much in the way of military around. Even though it's fairly close to our home system. I feel like I've never had this many problems with military in campaigns before. I'm not sure what exactly the issue is, but it seems like I'm having a really rough time getting my military to go anywhere and do anything. So we don't need to continue providing medical support. I think... What can we do? Reveal she skimmed money. It's gonna make her very angry at me if I do that. gonna hope she doesn't do it again. She is kind of greedy. I mean, I'm greedy too, but we need to kind of get things moving the right way in our little civilization. So now the Lin, but the way they've been switching sides, I wouldn't be surprised if we could get the Davis Coalition to come join us, like the way this has been going. Especially since he likes me. I wonder if I could just ask him. He might accept. Wow. I mean, I feel like that's almost worth doing. Just asking him. That's kind of bonkers. It will make the Lins very mad, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask politely. You said no. Okay. I mean, I had to give it a try. That's just the chances of that working. And, like, it's a private, so it's not really affecting opinion. Nobody knows I asked. But he knows I'm interested now. Maybe that will change things in the future. I don't know. So I'm even working on you. You now like me a bit. So yeah, I feel like we'd have to kind of break them away. The new acting head here doesn't like me, but I think we can rejigger this around and have you shift from there to her. So we have somebody working in Nair al-Saif. You. Stop that. Go over to the Jackson Kingdom. Let's try to improve relations here. You're very good at this. Maybe we can break them off from her as well. Maybe. Still have some actions. I could try to go for peace again. I wonder if it's -5 to our wealth generation. It's not affecting our military. I don't know why our military is so bad. Yeah, we might want to shift around over here for our unrest. It's changed a bit. It's now only +1 a turn with what we have going on. Gear tab is down to 26, 24. It's going down a couple. Up here it is going down almost 2, so we have things kind of under control. DeCrux is totally fine. Yeah, I don't really want this getting too high, but we could potentially just stop these soonish and shift over to do something else. We could also take someone off gear tab and swap with whoever's doing it at Izar, because we're a little better with our member of the house that's in gear tab. So I'm trying Charm Offensive at the moment. I'm not sure if it's going to work. Like, I feel like we're close to getting the Davis Coalition to just come over to us. But they've been very finicky and just jumping back and forth between different alliances. So I wonder how long that would even last, even if I could get them to come over. They want to join this group, I think. Yeah. If I could get more territories, then I can really ramp up my money income, because we get a good bonus from taxes, and I just don't have much because I don't have many vassals. And I bet if I could get one of these two to join me, the other would then follow, saying, oh, this guy's got some strength now. We should go help him. We should be part of that. I don't know that I want to waste trying to go to peace, because especially now that they have this faction inside, they probably view it as much more doable to come do an attack. So just out of curiosity, if we were to fight here, Where is she? She can get about 14 ships. I can get 44. So that's pretty defendable without a problem, and it'd be even better in my home system, I think. So yeah, no way she's taking Izar away from me. It's just it's too far out. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the one increasing the unrest over here in Izar as a way to kind of push me out of my connections down in here. So if I lose Izar, I might lose this as well. Not sure. Okay, just checking to see if that's colonizable. Yeah, it's an interesting spot to be in. Kumi doesn't have an assignment. So I think she was training me before. So I could just continue with that. She can pretty much do anything, train me for anything, because she's got good tech. Pet the dog. That's an action? Sure. Let's do that. Settle down into a comfortable seat and scratch behind its ears. The animal wags its tail, overjoyed to have the attention of its beloved master. It's nice to put your troubles aside for a few minutes. So we get a nice little positive attitude bonus there. We're still trying for a child with my wife. Let's train. I think we go back to some more diplomacy. My daughter trying to teach me how to be a diplomat with all the holotapes in the world at her disposal. Yeah, I don't really have much else I can do. Everyone's busy. We could pull somebody off of some things. Our farmer territory's war is going to go away in 4 turns if we don't do anything, if no fighting goes on back and forth. That's fine. I'm fine with it just petering out. Like I said, I wouldn't mind just kind of diplomatically sniping some other factions here, but I think that's highly unlikely. But I am kind of working in that direction, so we're trying a charm offensive, especially here on the Jackson Kingdom. I wonder if I bumped this up even more. Like, they already like me quite a bit. I don't know. I think we'll call it. But yeah, I think we'll continue the charm offensive. Potentially trying to look at, I think if we could get the Jackson Kingdom to join or the Davis Coalition to join, we could then get the other to join because we would look suddenly way stronger. And I think we could do that, especially if we can get them to like us a bit more. That's really my only option I can see for expanding at this point. I don't really see much else we could do other than joining a faction ourselves. And if I was going to join, still, I've got good relations with the Tanner Coalition. Maybe we would do that. I don't know. I am still working on that as just a reminder. Yeah, she likes me quite a bit. I don't suppose if I asked you... Yeah, there's no way. It's too much to ask. They have their own large kingdom. We're just this little crappy, poor, independent country. Yeah, we'll go ahead and call it there. This has been more of Star Dynasties. I've been Disturbing Puppet. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Until then, have a good one.